We are men of our word. That was a quick break. And we're back here. Map 2 of the Grand Finals for CEVO main. This is match series. I guess series point would be the better way to say it. For Mortal Kombat, whereas Epsilon now, if they want a chance, they will have to win 2 in a row here in this series and then be forced to play another best of 3 because they're the team from the lower bracket. So, a lot of work in front of the Spaniards here at Mortal Kombat, though. All they got to do is win cash, and they're $3,600 richer. So here we go into that pistol round.
Absolutely key pistol round as well for Epsilon, I have to say, to get a good start on their T side. It started pretty rough for them. A Spiley that connects 2 headshots, looking for a third. There's strengthened numbers though from Epsilon, but they have lost another player. Make that another 2 players as NKL now stands on top of his teammate's corpse and delivers the final blows alongside Victor. A comfortable round for MK, and they start cash pretty much in the same form that they left us 2 on, and that's with victories.
Pushing quad can be the most depressing thing in the world, honestly. They finally kill Spy Leader, who killed 2 of them, and then NKL has rotated from like truck, slid through sight, and then back into quad, and then he kills 2 people from quad. What are you gonna do, man? It's tough. It's very hard to go in there dry and get that quad player out of position. I mean, hard enough on rifle rounds. Probably even harder on the pistols, right? The precision of that USP is just out of this world. Now Epsilon forcing up. 1 flash. That's all they got. So probably a delay explode with a quick pop flash if it can. They're going to go out of the smoke. That's exactly what they do. 3 out of A main. 1 coming from the door. They got another. Still looking at it. That's Arky gets a kill. Don Q, the first one to bring down someone today. That was MKL to be brought down. Wilder taking some shots through the smoke. And what a fadeaway from Moss for that 3rd kill. He grabs 3, 5 HP. Tag team out. Dreamer and Bubble now to go in on this retake as the bomb will go down.
Will go down. Mixwell has an opportunity here with the grenade. Gonna just toss it over the quad, and unfortunately, in doing so, he left himself vulnerable. And MK to pick up their 2nd round here. At least it's a bomb plant though for Epsilon. Could have gone a lot worse for them. They may not have enough money to scrape together like a full buy of AKs, but maybe it'll force the hand with tech mines. I'm not too sure what their mentality is here.
I suppose with that nade, he was hoping it was Spy Leader that was pushing. He knew that Spy Leader had to be pretty low. But, yeah. I don't know. A hard round to win. The nade, obviously, like, hey, I'm behind quad. So it didn't really help him out. And it didn't kill anybody in the end. We did see, though, they could have done what Mortal Kombat did. Like, they got the, I guess they didn't get the bomb down in the 1st round, but they found it there in the 2nd. So they couldn't do the back-to-back Tech 9 armors to keep that pressure on and still have a chance to break that money early of MK. So more or less the full save again, looking for some Deagles and Kevlar. And it's up to MK to just hold those long angles and, you know, stop this pistol threat. Whew! Tech 9. Or just pull out pistols.
Tech 9 could do the business as well. Victor. Oh, speaking of the Tech 9, there's Don Q. We've highlighted him as a pretty potent pistol, and he's picked himself up 2 already in quick succession. That gives Epsilon a lifeline. Dreamer's down to 24, so he's only a couple bullets away from death, but then again, the same can be said for 2/3 of Epsilon's lineup as well. Donkey's still high on HP, and he could be the saviour, but they are pushing on to B, which is where 2 CTs are stacked. But that's a beautiful 1 deeg from Arky. And now you're seeing quickly NKL scurrying towards the site. Donkey's picked up the frag onto Dreamer, and this is a great round for Epsilon, but they've got to finalize it.
Bomb now just going down. Donkey was making sure no one was hiding out in there. NKL on the retake 1v2. Arky is so low. Is he playing at a peaked angle? It looks like he might be in the backside there. NKL is going to be allowed to walk in now. He is still behind that wall. So NKL moving into the headshot ledge. He will find Don Q, but it's Arky with 2 HP that's going to find another 1 deeg there. So 2 kill for him, 3 actually for Don Q. A ridiculous 3 kills for Don Q. Now we'll get to the 1st round.
I've got to say, not only was that fantastic play from Don Q, but that final crossfire that Epsilon set up was perfect. Completely different directions, realizing the chances are that they lose at least 1 player, but ensuring they at least got the frag and the rounds. That was huge for them. MK, quickly, their economy's been broken, so they're on 4 pistols plus an M4. And maybe this could be Epsilon, you know, romping forward on their T side, getting the clash rounds. Maybe I've spoken too soon because Bubble from Ben and Spiley to both come in to ruin this 4th round for Epsilon. It could get a whole lot worse very quickly.
I hear pistols are pretty good in CSGO.
Yeah, just a bit.
And those CT ecos are so hard to deal with, too. Maybe even more problematic than the terrorist ones these days, as people have kind of adjusted to the terrorist play. You know, get a nice mixture of submachine guns, get your rifles kind of far back, and you're pretty easy to survive. But running into a stack or some CT aggression with a pop blast with these 5.7s is so much harder to account for. It's been a costly round. It looks like Epsilon might still be able to get out of it. Bomb going down now. No kits here. Victor, though, did pick up an A1S. Moving in. Oh, can't quite catch Don Q off. He was on that second carpet position. He'll go down. Victor through the vents is the one who brings him down. Now, can he find Mixwell? He will. Beautiful reactions there. Now, Alexis left in the back of the site. NKL and Victor to go in together. And Victor will just do everything here. Finding 3 kills. NKL, though, kind of running the distraction there. Do they have the time for this defuse, however?
Yeah, I think it should be alright. It should be able to defuse this pretty comfortably. And I think, as well, I completely agree with you. I think CT ecos are very difficult to deal with, especially on a map like Cache, because there's so many angles to cover when you push into those sites. And plus, you see a lot of CT teams as well will try and exploit with a smoke or a flashbang and go right through warehouse. And just go for like the straight up point blank duels, which often are a coin flip, you know, when flashbangs and smoke are involved. So it is really difficult for the terrorists to repel that, as we just saw from Epsilon's perspective there. They, however, are going to go back to the drawing board and get themselves an AK and 4 upgraded pistols, including 3 Deagles. Some Kevlar as well. They should be able to buy up next round, however, because they have the economy to do so with AKs. So it's not necessarily a throwaway round. It can be a very competitive round, this one, but you're expecting MK to take the 4-1 lead.
They have also planted 3 rounds in a row, so money is pretty good for them, sorry. Just typing in the chat. We've got them working into checker. Bubble there in the vent, though, will bring him down. Another player trying to get in. Don Q has got himself in the checker. He brings down Bubble with that. Deagle picks up the AK, finds Dreamer. Spy Leader, though, to find Mixwell. Right back to a 3-on-3. Don Q is very, very low. Only one with armor, though, but I guess at 12 HP, what does it really do for you? Can maybe toss that rifle to Alexis, but Alexis is far away. Under vent here. Will this perhaps go unchecked? Spy Leader's thinking about coming through the vent. Alexis right underneath. And he will... What? Alright. He gets it, And then he hits a player in headshot as well. Gets Don Q with 12 HP. And Spy Leader's got the kit, so he'll go in for the defuse.
Just for a millisecond, I thought Spy Leader was going to walk right away from him through check-it, and you'd see some really crazy clutch from Epsilon, but nope, MortalKombat. I've got the round, albeit though Epsilon were on a pretty bare bones buy up. Again, it wasn't a throwaway round, but it definitely wasn't a full on, 100% healthy buy up, and that allows them now to go for AKs. I was wondering if they'd maybe force up with an AWP, instead sticking with the AK, so maybe that suggests that we could see some kind of set play on towards one of the sites with plenty of smoke and flashbangs thrown in the mix as well. Spy Leader instantly smoking out mid, not taking any chances. And again, Epsilon going to congregate around mid, actually pushing out of warehouse. That was a pure timing push. You could see that MK were not expecting that. Spy Leader had a flash or a molly out or something. And in doing so, Epsilon absolutely burst blood and broke in the deadlock with 2 frags now. Arky dropping down into checkered, maybe a bit too aggressive. Here comes Bubble, had a chance to get a second, but does get picked off himself. Did tag down Alexis very low.
That was a bad flash from the terrorists. I think they were not expecting it. They blinded themselves and delayed their crossover. I don't think at the end it's going to matter too much. Kyrie's got into the side, just put one person in there, the other already set up in their post plans. And spraying through! NKL going to bring down Alexis. So now it's a 2-on-3. They both got hits. Look at these, maybe I'll just try that spam again and get a 2-on-2 and go for this, but not getting the RNG, I guess, in his favor the second time. They'll back off towards where else but Squeaky Room.
Yeah, wise choice, I think, from MK. I feel like if they had a couple flashbangs, they may have tried to make something happen, but a smoke from that position is not good enough to retake the site on, because the terrorists can actually hide inside the smoke, and it gives them maybe even more of an advantage in a 3-on-2. B is such a rough site to retake as well if you're undermanned when coming to that retake scenario. So MK overall, I think they weighed their options, they made the correct decision. They keep 2 AKs, well, not 2 AKs, but 2 assault rifles going forward, and that allows them to get another buy-up, albeit a 5-7 on Victor. But we've already seen that if MortalKombat have pistols, they can still make the round work for them. So I'm sure there's no big worries on their side here going to the 7th round.
So I can't remember, was the third round? The third round was just the pistols up where Donkey got that 3K with the Tech 9. Maybe like one AK. So that's their first rifle round coming in round 6 for Epsilon. Let's see if they can grab another one here. Victor, though, you know, is relegated down to just a 5-7, but of course we know that can't be deadly. Where's he with that? He's still playing sandbags, so still kind of a far back position for a pistol. Definitely out of one-tap range. NKL and Spy Leader trying to lock down A, and no aggression here from MK, just playing passive setup.
Yep, just waiting. Pretty much forcing the terrorists to make the moves. This Molotov wants to quad that forces NK out of position. He did get the flash off just beforehand. The issue there is that there was so much fire to contend with, and he's trying to get a positional play on the incoming terrorists that he didn't lose his life. Alexis with a nice trade out onto Spy Leader. He does lose quite a bit of his HP, but Epsilon doing a phenomenal job at locking the site down, getting the plant, and also maybe building that economy up with 5 players alive after this round finishes. So, I mean, Epsilon, they were looking a bit poor to early stages on T side with, as you say, just like no rifle rounds really to speak of. It was more like a pistol. And now, suddenly, in the blink of an eye, they're going to take this round comfortably. I say that, but they go looking for frags and lose 2 AKs. Deary me. It still will be around to them, though, right? And they have enough economy to buy up, so it's not the end of the world.
Dreamer trying to hide behind the Vader's like, "Van, please kidnap me, please kidnap me." But no, he is stuck there in the spawn. Kyrie does finally get one. So it's just 1 AK to survive. And the FAMAS to be bought by Bubble. AK has been dropped on the ground. And 5-7 armor come out. I wonder if MK, now that they've got kind of more pistols, will they try to do something aggressive with them? I think that's going to maybe be your better option. It looks like... Dreamer and NKL are going towards A. Do they do a timed A main push? No, they'll just sit back in the site. And it'll be up to Epsilon to try to, avoid those and just get these opening picks. Kyrie getting boosted over here. And no ops either for Epsilon. Neither Mixwell nor Kyrie going for an op. Well, it didn't have the money quite yet. We'll see maybe in round 9.
I feel like MK definitely do fall into some traps with maybe over-aggression. They're going for a force buy. There's no chance they're going to break the economy of Epsilon, who have 6.3k on Kyrie before this even ends, so they should be able to force up whatever happens. And if MK lose this, they could be potentially a double eco, honestly, if they want to go for orbs. But, well, maybe I don't need to continue speaking anymore, because MK are just trading out to perfection. The first 2 frags go down, Arky's on 26 HP. It just seems to me that, like, on paper, these strats shouldn't be working. And maybe against better opposition that are firing all cylinders, they may get punished a tiny bit more. They are getting a good trade though from Don Q, who's just landing the AK shots. He's been picked off from behind. And MK win the round and keep 2 AKs going forward, 5-3.
I'm surprised that those players went down in middle. It was a beautiful wall of smokes. I think the crisscross smokes, they even got one on top of the mid hut to land, so you can't get headshotted from, headshot or from Z, but they went a little early. Bubble, just hit the shot on Mixwell as the smoke bloomed, but he had seen him beforehand, so he kind of knew where to aim. And that's rough. The 2 rifles, the AK, the FAMAS getting those entry picks. And now MortalKombat taking another round, though. Still enough in the tank after 2 rounds and 2 bomb explosions for Epsilon. AKs abounding for them. Some damage between Kyrie and Spy Leader. And that's all we've got for now. Looks like Epsilon spread out. 2 people towards Squeaky. I'm watching the flanks in mid and B. And I think the bomb geared towards A, but still watching that counter boost.
Yeah, again, Epsilon, they do like to take a long time to make a decision, but they have very explosive strats at the end with these smokes. The issue is that the MK's positioning has been so good in their crossfires, down from Bubble, and also they normally have crossfire from Catwalk or Toxic Barrels and Quad, and it's very difficult to push through that even with smokes. They do get the entry though into Spy Leader, and the second as well from Donkey. This is beautiful from Epsilon, just what they were lacking in the previous rounds with raw entry potential. They've lost a player, they've lost 2 now, but Alexis has answered back once more, constantly getting frags when low. He is a very dangerous player. 30 seconds to play with. Victor and Dreamer. Make that just Victor remaining. 7 HP to his name. And he tries to back away, I feel, to save that weapon and gets caught in the process. Arky picks him off. 4th round now to Epsilon, and that's really going to fill them with confidence, because now they're like, oh, we can execute with the Rife round and win.
Bubble tried so hard to make a play in that last round. You know, trying to go around the other side of the... He kills one, and he tries to go through the smokes on the other side to just flank them right away when maybe they're not watching it, but they were watching it, so he'll fall. And with that, with the hopes of the round, pretty much, Epsilon now with that win have broken up MK's money, and Epsilon in a place where they can actually tie it. They'll get the entry onto Bubble over towards B. He was actually the 1B player. They win a 1-3-1 right now. They'll be completely open for business. MK with nothing to save, so perhaps we'll see them go for an interesting stack to try to get some exit frags.
Excellent. Epsilon? I kind of got Epsilon
Yeah,
and
I was
Alexis
like, what was
mixed
going
up.
on with that?
But Alexis has definitely been stepping up to the plate somewhat more on Cashew. He's very quiet, eerily quiet on +2. He's got 9 frags thus far. A lot of them have been entries as well. Like, pretty important kills. MK, there's no real reason to try and save the P250, and the fact they've just got an entry there back onto the site, I guess you could say. Well, I was going to say maybe they can just scurry off with that AK, but very quick reaction from Epsilon. And just losing 1 player in that round. Let's look at the economy. Well, it's a straight-up AWP buy. It is going to be thrown across the Bubble, and a FAMAS drop to Dreamer. So they do get themselves some weapons. Only the 1 defuse kit, though, and only 3 grenades in total. 2 smokes, in fact 4 now. 3 smokes and a grenade. That's not a lot to play with, so they may go aggressive and look for pretty much just dueling. MK, very aggressive at the best of times, but I feel like when they're in these positions, they're like a cornered animal. They're going to try and strike first.
But what animal? Is it a cornered squirrel, or is it maybe a cornered bear? That's the determining factor. Although, to be fair, I would be terrified of a cornered squirrel as well. I don't know, man. Those things look ferocious. Donkey's already down. Dreamer finds that opening pick with the FAMAS, but Alexis and Mix will bring in this round right back. They now got the man advantage. 4v3, and Bubble with the op. I expected him to find the entry, but he's avoided. I don't know if I kind of, expect him to be playing B with that op. So they try to get around him, or if they just happen to be going for an A-take on this round, and that'll be Dreamer and Bubble. Definitely looking to save these weapons.
I do wonder where Epsilon would be without Donkey on this map, though.
Yeah,
14 for 9.
Helped them out quite a bit.
So many like these aggression entry frags he's picked up for his team. Bubble goes looking again. That's an AWP drop. That's a lot of money that just evaporates. And Dreamer is going to get the player on the crosshair for Kyrie. Can he get to the AWP? I don't think so, but he is doing quite a bit of damage to the terrorists, and then is caught in 2 mines. I think he wanted to pick the AK up potentially and realised it was too far away. I'm not too sure what his thought process was, but the end result is the same. He dies, and Epsilon get their 6th round.
Maybe could have scooped it up and, like, hidden, at least minimized his profile, you know, hiding behind that little ledge there. But whatever. Probably would have died anyways. Maybe would have found that 3rd frag and saved the AK. But still wouldn't have improved their chances on this round all that much. Again, a full eco, some P250s, 5.7, and a flash coming in for MK. And now Kyrie's picked up an op on the T side. I think the first time the terrorists have went for the op.
Yeah, I think you're right there. By and large, it's just with full AKs with a set play in mind. So this change of pace could very well play into MK's hands, you know, because there's an AWP there, they're aggressive, pistol pushes, could catch their AWP off guard, and look at this, it's the pistols again that are just ringing out perfectly for Victor, spins around on a 6-point and lands the P250 shot onto Alexis. Kyrie, the aforementioned AWPer, is all that remains, and he's been picked off. And MK, who've had a couple of really poor, in fact 3 poor rounds in a row, then on pistols, get the victory. CS never fails to surprise.
No, it does not. Round by round, you're never quite out of it. And this is a very, very important round for MortalKombat. This could pretty much win them the half 9-6. Money of Epsilon will be quite broken up if they lose this round. Maybe just one guy able to drop some Tech 9s, the rest armor, I don't even know. But you've also, of course, you know, not going to have a lose bonus if you're Epsilon, so not that much money coming in now. Bubble with the op! Oh my gosh, he's able to flick up to the vents and bring down Arky. He got Don Q prior to that. And not even the right back up. Can he find another one to the vent? Till Myth, he pulls out the 5-7, but Alexis is too quick. This Spy Leader Pride of that finds Kyrie, so now 2-on-2. And it looks like Bomb making its way. Bomb's a little slower. It was behind there, probably lurking or had to go pick it back up. Alexis goes for the aggressive play on a 2v2. I don't know about that.
I don't agree with that at all. I mean,
2v3, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
exactly. If he knew where the players were, then I can understand as well. But he was guessing, but they're coming through him. There's a 1-for-1 trade at the end there, and that will favour, of course, MK. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that play. I feel if he aggressively pushes checkered, or maybe even looks towards T-spawn, then I can kind of get behind that because it's more information-based. But he must know that if the last two players are coming from A, there's a very good chance at least one of them's going to be coming through CT. And is it worth the risk when you've got the bomb down? Because all the pressure's on the CT side then. All the T's have to do is get a good crossfire and the round should be theirs.
Yeah, with the 2v2 and the bomb down, the Terrorists should be favored. I'm kind of just making up percentages, but like you'd think maybe like 60-70% that they should win the round. And it's the opposite, right? If you plant and it's 2v3 more CTs, then you're not really favored, so you got to go for that aggressive play, try to get it back into a 2v3. So it didn't quite make sense for him to go for that peek in. As predicted here, it has collapsed the economy of the Terrorists here, Epsilon. So onto the pistols this round. Q, unfortunately, not able to deliver them an ace. And whoa, that was a lot of broken glass. 8-6 now. 3 in a row for MortalKombat. As are they about to perform the fatality here in the last round of the first half?
Definitely possible. Is it going to be a flawless victory, though, in the final one?
That's, yeah, well, map overall, definitely not, but
yeah, definitely not flawless.
Is flawless victory team ace? Is that what we call it when Mortal Kombat's
I guess so, yeah. And what would a double flawless be? Like a 60? Would it be like a king win against VP?
Yeah, how did on cash too? I wasn't awake. I'm gonna have to watch it. And hey, it won't even take much time, right? It was so quick.
Yeah, oh man, that map couldn't have lasted very long. And I heard a stat as well that a VP got like 10 bomb plants and still lost.
Yeah, they just couldn't hold on to the plants.
Insane.
So, oh, I think
I saw a gun stick through.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a good. This game, come on, Volvo. What are you doing? What are you doing? People play this game for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can't be seeing an AK through a wall. I understand like the super thin ones, but you generally know about those. You're not expecting through a brick wall. Well, as I talk over this in upset tones, Mortal Kombat just locked down that site, and that'll be 9-6. And it was looking like Epsilon might take that first half, but Mortal Kombat fight right back. And I mean, getting those rounds on the CT side is big for them because you expect with Victor and I would say Dreamer on this map on the T side, like hide your kids, hide your wife.
They're coming.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons why they're so powerful on T, though. In a nutshell, it's them two. It's not taking anything away, because obviously, if you don't have the support as an entry fragger, there's only so much that you can do, and you are going to get traded out very easily. But they are the standout players. They are the people that are, by and large, going to put in the long hours and get the job done. And we were kind of laughing about the gun sticking through the wall, but that wasn't insignificant. That was pretty massive, because that allowed Mortal Kombat to know there was an A push coming in, so they could lock down positions for guaranteed certainty. And they had, like, of course, the reaction advantage because they knew exactly where at least one player was coming from. So that's the reason it's so huge when these bugs happen.
That was only an AK, too. If you had a M4A1S, you could tickle the CT sitting there, like, with the silencer through the wall. All right, Bubble with the Glock here. Wow, gonna get both. Just like that. He's lurking. He's expecting it, as so many teams do. They push out with the party of 2 or 3 into B and look for that information or the fast flank if it happens to be a quick A take. And that gets shut down by Bubble. And with that, probably the hopes of the round, because Bubble finds a third one as well.
You'd be crazy. NKL is going to ruin the opportunity of an ace, but they're not going to care too much about this. Mixwell, nice shot from him onto NKL, but I mean, it's just consolation kills, really. 10-6, MK. They get the pistol. I was going to say, Epsilon, they needed that to settle the nerves a tiny bit. They are going to be going for a force, I believe. Arky with a Deagle Kevlar. Yeah, there we go. The rest of them are going to be forcing it up as well. So maybe, just maybe, the 1-digs are going to be real.
Arky's already delivered a few. You got 2 1-digs on the very first round that Epsilon won. Back in round 3. And Q, triple with the Tech 9. Those Q things. And let's see, do we have a C crate boost? We do. That's the... I love this spot. It's so good. Honestly, it's so good on every round, but especially on pistols when you expect someone to try to push up quick or walk through that smoke. Yet people still refuse to boost me there.
Scumbags.
Thanks, team. Like, fine, I won't watch the flank. Let him walk right on by. So still 5-on-5, NKL. It looks like they want to try to get some people over the boost and go for an A split, or perhaps if they switch to B, then NKL is just going to be one hell of a lurker on this round. But 50 seconds left, and most people moving up to A. Out towards mid, they'll break the vents, maybe trying to fake that it is going to be B. That's double stack though, and a smoke still at A main, slowing things down for MortalKombat's execution. And the boost is spotted. Not dealt with quite yet, so 2 players still in sight. That's going to be known though to MK. They're a little scared to push past the forklift. Kyrie working himself around in those smokes, unable to do anything, and now it's Donkey by himself. With the deagle though, I think he picked it up from Arky.
Good luck, sir. Good luck. He's got 100% left of his HP, but is there maybe a call for him to try and save this? It's Deagle Kevlar, he could do something in the next round. The issue is though, with 5 players remaining, there's a good chance that he was going to get flanked from behind anyway, and well, Bubble seals it up anyway. 11-6. Epsilon now on an eco. And surely MK are just a few rounds away. I mean, obviously, mathematically, they're 5 rounds away, but in terms of momentum and breaking assault rifle buys, I think if they can get to sort of 14-6, this is game, set, and match.
More than likely. It's definitely Epsilon onto the back foot. This should be MK going to 12 rounds. Once again, Victor up on that C crate. Oh my gosh.
I'm
not sure if Epsilon aren't the bubbles in that case, and Bubble just popped them one by one. And he's probably very upset that Alexis wasn't there, because that would have been the quickest ace highlight clip of his career.
It's kind of unfortunate though for Epsilon as well, because they kind of conga lined into his aim. Like he did, it was brilliant control of the spray, don't get me wrong, but geez, they were kind of unfortunate there. It was great. All things considered though, I think what was better about that play wasn't necessarily the aim of the spray down, it was just the position that he picked. He didn't go too aggressive, he sat there realizing the eco rush could be coming in through B. That's just raw game sense.
Yeah, it's foolish to push into that B warehouse, expecting CTs with pistols. Same thing goes for A main, honestly. It's better to just sit and wait, because every time they're going to go for something crazy. And then I always do get worried, right? So you sit back, you wait, nothing happens, and it's like, which site do we go to? Because maybe they're just all stacked on one, which is kind of why you'll see some teams go for the new meta of just like, give a guy a MAC 10, and he'll just fly into a site and figure it out. And if he dies, it's like, whatever. If they save a MAC 10, who cares? And then you just go to the other site. But I haven't really seen the main teams kind of using that.
Yeah, true. And these may be tricks that they're missing. Maybe things that they could try and incorporate more in the future. But
and you get to use a MAC 10, so that's always fun.
The thing is that the MK, they haven't necessarily been like the most explosive T side, but their strats have been no frills, but they've been highly effective. Because again, it's coming down to those entries, and Epsilon just can't compete with them. It's the same issue they had on Dust 2, where for a lot of the map, they were doing decent in terms of holding positions, not giving anything away, but then here we go. The Dreamer train is just roaring down the tracks and just wrecking everybody in its path. Although, in fairness to Epsilon, they have clawed back 2 rounds of their own, so this is still doable, but they've got no grenades or defuse kits. And surely, MortalKombat are going to stamp out the 19th round and take a 13-6 lead. There we go, Victor again. But it's just the Dreamer and Victor show. Neither of them have fantastic scores, but on the T side, they're always a threat. Yeah,
they're insane on cash. They also, had the most first kills, had a ridiculous amount of frags in the previous encounter in the round of 8 when they played on cash here. And, well, we're getting close. MortalKombat won 16-7, and it's very possible that could be the score again. And maybe this could be the 7th round for Epsilon, because you see the double scouts and you see the pistol armors. This is something that could maybe catch MK off guard, and I mean, it's very real. that this fourth fight will win, and that's why teams, I mean, at every level will do this so often. And there it is, Don Q starting off first. Headshot on the bubble.
Great start. They got to keep this going, though. They can't let their foot off the gas. They can't slack from this point on. Because even with a player advantage, they're still definitely behind in terms of weaponry, unless they can get the sexy 1Ds or the jump scouts or what have you. And I like this play from MK, realizing they've got a lot of long range, they've got deagles, they've got scouts, no problem. Let's push onto the B site where it's more close and claustrophobic and more difficult to land those shots. If we've got good smokes and flashbangs down, they need to make sure they don't push him without the flash coverage though, because that is going to play into the hands of Don Q. He's got the 5-7 Epsilon. Not only win the round, but win it with 4 players remaining. Beautiful for them.
The Blood in the Water scout skin is just such a next level skin.
Yeah, I love it.
So good. 1, it looks great, and 2, it's just like the perfect like theme for a scout. You know, blood in the water. You tag a guy, and people with pistols are just like, blood, 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 and they'll find that kill for you. Sharks can't jump scout, but I don't know. That's where the metaphor breaks down.
Just a bit. I'm just sad I can't use a scout, otherwise I'd definitely have that skin. It's definitely, for me, the best scout skin.
Although Great Whites, I guess they do go, you know when they go for that like quick lunge for the seal and they'll like fly out of the water 7 feet?
I guess that could be
So
considered
maybe,
as a
yeah,
scout
maybe
shot.
the metaphor does actually hold up.
Yeah. Well, the more you know. My mind's just been blown.
Back when Shark Week was good, like 5 years ago.
I'm actually fascinated with sharks, just on a complete tangent, because we're on a pause. Sharks fascinate me. I would never get into water with them. I respect them way too much for that. But I don't know, as creatures, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm always terrified living in Florida with the news in the summer when it's warm. Like,
Oh,
shark
right?
bite, shark bite, shark bite. It's like, do I want to go to the beach today?
Never even thought of that. I live in England, so the nearest thing we get to a shark is like, I don't know, a sperm whale or something.
Try not to be the only one in the ocean. You know, at least keep the odds in your favor. It's like the Hunger Games, right? I suppose that's what it is for the shark, anyways. Just hungry, trying to go for a quick nibble. So, paused. I didn't catch the reason. Bubble got the dust.
Got Shrek.
He's only got like 150 ping. His ISP maybe just lagging. We had a similar situation. Who was it? It was Fuchs.
Yeah. For LDLC White. And Toinu, or Twanu, because people were down my throat about
Aren't you European? You're supposed to be like sophisticated and able to speak multiple languages.
But I'm also English, so I'm a
yeah, it's like
by default.
That's true. You are kind of the most isolated. For Europe, I guess. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that. We're kind of on our own.
You're on an island.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of bad blood, you know, if you look back in history between a lot of the countries in England as well, I'd say.
Also true.
Well, I guess the same could be said like anywhere across the world.
I'm still paused.
I'd love to analyse this game, but honestly, there's not that much to talk about. MortalKombat have been the better team, and their T-strats, again, they've been no frills, Counter-Strike. They've just had good smokes, good flashes, like solid strats, and they've executed them well because of their entry frag prowess. Epsilon, when they've won rounds, they've been against the run of play, really. They've only won the one round, first off on their CT side, which was, what, with like scouts and deagles, I think?
Yep.
So there's not much to talk about, really. I think MK should be favourites to clinch this map as well. Take it 2-0.
Maybe Mixwell can bless them with another opening pick. He's got that blood in the water. But they're coming. Fast and furious out of A main. They've already pushed that smoke. 2 players up on the highway, and Epsilon flanking from B. But will they get there in time? Maybe it won't matter. Mixwell does grab 1 with the scout. Alexis another 2. Actually, Mixwell picks up a second with the scout as well. So completely held on to right there.
Yep, good round for Epsilon. But again, it's MK bouncing right back with AKs. And typically when they go for AKs, it's going to be slow and probably an A take. That's ultimately what they've gone for over and over again. They may try and throw a spanner in the works and catch Epsilon off guard, but it's almost an identical setup to each and every round, and Epsilon just haven't been able to deal with this.
Let's see, it's 2-1-2 right now for Epsilon. Alexis kind of fading back and forth between mid and A. Arky and Q up in that B site. Trying to get that spray down through the smoke. You'll see so many people get sprayed down through there. But not today. So 5-on-5, and yeah, probably just spreading out, running their default, which generally does turn into that, you know, the working of the A site. Or perhaps, you know, they've done it enough that they can fake it at this point. Maybe just put 2 people pushing through A main, get those rotations in, and then take B on the other side of things. Time will tell. A minute left here in round 22. Here comes 2 people up on the boost waiting, so it will be a 3-2 split.
Yeah, and again, Epsilon, they need to make sure they don't over-rotate and don't get caught up too much from this. Kyrie with 1 does get traded out with the headshot and the second as well. Alexis comes down. And
the catwalk smoke.
Oh, Mixwell does get the kill though. Mixwell's very low, looking for that second, but gets burnt out from Bubble. And A is now open for MK, and as I said, it's just pretty much been very similar strats from them. Epsilon, they've got the entry, and Arky really just walks through onto the site and gets the free frag. I think there's going to be a couple of words exchanged from MortalKombat. Doesn't end up mattering too much, but another day they would have been punished for just ultimately letting their bomb planter die for no retaliation.
Indeed. And it just comes down to the entries, right? Victor, well, his first kill was actually just the trade. That Sandbags player was killed the second guy coming over the boost. Victor got the trade out, and then he's still won that 1v1 duel on the highway after already being hurt a little bit. Maybe should not have happened, but they're able to pick up that round. Money now tight, and if MortalKombat get this round, it'll be very, very easy to close it out. Kyrie, though, going to bring down Spy Leader. He can't escape. Victor brings him down. Alexis trying to come up. He will find the frag, but only 1. Dreamer right there behind him for the trade. So 3-on-3, planting onto this A site. Molotov going to go down. Bomb still going to be planted, and they'll be able to get out of there as well. NKL now on the backside fighting. Oh my gosh, Q is so blind. NKL just going to chill by the box. So where's the other player coming from? We got actually already kind of on the back of the site box is Mixwell. Trying to juke around these smokes. Q brings down NKL, who's supposed to be holding A main. Up on top of the site is Mixwell. He finds Bubble, and that's it. They will succeed on this retake.
Yeah, the player that managed to kind of get onto the site, I feel, was the determining factor there, because it kept MK caught in 2 mines. They couldn't just lock onto positions and get a pure crossfire down. They were very much aware of the fact someone could be snaking around the back of them. And I feel that's pretty much why Epsilon win their 9th round. This is a much better performance from Epsilon on Cash. We kind of expect this with it being their choice of map, and a map that they do play a hell of a lot and have done a lot in main. But still, MK, they're getting kills, they're getting plants down, which allows them to consistently pick up more and more assault rifles. Pop flashy into Alexis, and they'll line up for him, but he gets nothing in return, and did minimal damage on top of that. That is a heavy blow for Epsilon. We now have to just try and fend off this onslaught for a few more seconds to allow the backup to arrive.
And it's just how it goes. Seeing 4 people to aim at, it just overloads your brain. You can't handle it. So how many times do we see a player peek into 4 blind players and just never get a frag? And it's the same in my personal experience as well. It's so hard. And then by the time they can see, you're in the open like, hi. I wasn't actually trying to kill you. Kyrie has the outshot on the Victor. Bubble brings down Mixwell, so 4-on-3. They got the advantage as the aggression failed earlier in the round. Spy Leader gets Kyrie, so the op is now down. And, well, Arky gonna drop the bomb, but Spy Leader already on the other side of Quad, and Dreamer there to bring down Q as he tries to peek in from that truck side. 3 to survive on the round. Epsilon, though, having won the last one, even still money is super tight since it did come down to 2-on-2 in round 23. And somewhat easier of a match point here for MK.
Great round from MK there. They got the original frag, which is on Alexis, I believe, who was the guy that pushed main and got nothing. They could have just ran out and gone all guns blazing for the frags. Instead, they waited, they bided their time, they went for a set play, they were patient, and then they executed to perfection. It was so smart and so calm under pressure. It would have been easy for them to lose their head and just rush in, potentially get the worst of that trade, making sure they got the definite trade in their favor. And now, in what could be the final round of these grand finale, MK have a player advantage. It was a 2-player advantage, but Mixwell has somewhat brought it back to a more even playing field. But there's Bubble eliminating that equality. and leaving Arky and Donkey on Deagles, and the only thing that stands between Epsilon and defeat. And, well, it's all on Donkey now.
He's done this before, honestly. He has. With the Deagle, he's going to be very tough, and, well, not a good way to start off the 1-Deag chain by missing a 1-Deag, an impossible situation for him anyway. So that'll be MortalKombat winning this best of 3, the one best of 3 that they had to win since they were the team that remained in the winner bracket the entire time here for European CEVO main postseason. And they'll be taking home, I believe, $3,600, $644? Pretty solid.
Decent money. And of course, they're also in the playoffs as well, right? For the Pro League.
Yeah.
Through to next season.
Very likely, I think, see them in that Pro League. But of course, they're still going to have, some tough competition. I think they've got to face Leet, which was then just picked up by Property. Who else was down there? It's going to be really hard to remember.
Existence, but they disbanded.
Yeah, but Existence disbanded, so it'll be someone else now. We've got some other... For the teams that didn't accept, I know there are some other invites into that pro placement tournament. I don't know if I'm allowed to speak of them quite yet, so I won't. But let's just say those teams will have a pretty solid chance of getting through as well. But I guess the real story here is, Epsilon, it was kind of expected. They had got 2-0. They got ran over by MK right at the start of this. They were able to fight back, and I actually think it was Epsilon involved in all of the games that actually went a full 3. So, it was hard fought for them to get back to MK, and then MK were still just too strong. But still, good performance, second place, and Epsilon also going to be in that pro placement tournament.
Yep, I agree. I think I'd be quite surprised if we don't see MK moving towards the Pro League next season. I think they definitely deserve it. I think they can take a lot of teams to their limits, even at the top level if they're on form. They've still got some issues, so I think they need to work out. Epsilon... Again, did Kyrie coming in and replacing Soka hurt them? I'm not too sure. He didn't perform terribly, but he wasn't exactly setting the world on fire either. Ultimately, though, the best team won. I don't think there's any doubts about that. MK definitely deserved the 2-0 today, as we kind of expected.
Agreed. And we've got the main playoffs for North America should be coming up. I don't know if they're actually tonight. Let me see. Yeah, they're going to be Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. That'll be Enemy GG versus Mortality eSports. So that'll be the next thing going on here on MLG.tv/PlayCevo. So make sure to follow so you can catch the CEVO main action from North America. And that's all we've got here. I'm Helium, with me, Metuz. You can see our Twitter's up there on the top of the screen, at HeliumBrella, at MetuzTV. Give us a follow if you like what you saw. Maybe constructive criticism as well. If you've got any tips. And Metuz, I don't know if you want to say your own goodbyes.
It's a pleasure as always, man. And I believe we'll be casting together shortly. You'll be off to LAN as well, so all the best to you if this is the last time we cast before that.
We might have one more when the pro placement starts, I think on the 20th as well. But yeah, until then, that's it from us, guys. We'll be a little quiet for the next couple days. So I guess go watch DreamHack. And thanks for watching here, supporting Grassroots CS. Catch you next time.